Good afternoon. I'm recording this video at Valley Forge National Park, which is a very historic national park in the United States. It's in the suburbs of Philadelphia. This is where General George Washington had his encampment between December of 1777 and June or July of 1778. If you're a cricket fan, this is where George Washington, who later on became the first president of the United States, he played a game called wicket, which is a version of the English game called cricket, which is, which all Indians are crazy about. Anyway, so I wanted to talk today about the H1B program and the mess that it's in, and who is really responsible for this. So the H1B program was created, I believe, in the early 1990s. The goal was to bring highly talented individuals from other countries to the United States because the claim was that these highly qualified individuals were not available in the United States. So most of the initial IT workers, huge numbers, were in the I'm sorry, most of the H1B workers were in the IT sector. So this doesn't sound well right from the beginning because I'm very aware of what was happening in India in the 1980s. Computer science and IT in general was relatively unknown, particularly in the Indian universities. Most of the Indian universities, including the top-notch Indian universities, started having IT departments, computer science departments only in the mid 80s onwards. And most of the IT programs initially were very basic. That is not the case anymore. I mean, India has a top-notch IT sector, and Indian IT engineers can be as good as anybody else. But back in the day, I don't know how you can bring thousands and thousands of Indian IT workers and claim that they are highly skilled when compared to the other IT workers that were already available in the United States. I think the reason right from the beginning was not the availability. There are plenty of talent in the United States, but they cost money because IT is at that point was a very new field. It's a very tough field even today, and those who excel in it demand a high salary. And that's the way it should be, and that is the free market economic system that United States claims that it is. Also, in the beginning, a lot of the IT engineers, people like me, we have other backgrounds. Like I'm a mechanical engineer. I did graduate studies here in the United States, and in mechanical engineering, you have to learn programming because mechanical engineering also involves computer numerically controlled machines and so on. So learning programming in languages, if you are a mechanical engineer, is pretty normal even then. And you can transform many of these mechanical engineers and civil engineers and electrical and electronics engineers into IT engineers. That could have been possible in the early 90s. But the reason I believe the H1B program came about is not because of the lack of talent, but it is because they wanted to lower the salary. And as you know, in the late 90s, there was a boom. There was at some point during the Clinton administration where they were allowing more than 100,000 H1Bs per year for several years, particularly to solve the so-called Y2K problem. So, what is the impact of this um, uh, on U.S. citizens and green card holders? There was a study done between 2021 and 2025, and they found out that close to 500,000 IT workers were laid off. But at the same time, these very same companies were filing for H1B candidates in record numbers. So they were obviously trying to get the more experienced, the higher earning people out and replace them with um, people who are paid much less. So if you look at the typical H1B candidate, it's a tough life for them because they come here. They are, they typically have a technical background, whether it's computer science or engineering, as I mentioned. But once they come here, they cannot change their jobs easily. They cannot quit. They cannot ask for a raise. All of this is because they are tied to one company, and this is very un-American. In America, our skill set, a lot of companies should compete for our skill set, and that is how the individual is supposed to benefit. But in this case, there is only one buyer for this labor, and that is not a free market economic system. And that system was created to get the people at a lower salary and to keep them from moving. you know so this system definitely is un-American in my view, and it does not benefit the person who is here on H1B, or the American worker who is getting laid off because of this program. So this has become a big issue. um, and the current administration has taken a lot of steps to, quote, fix this problem. One of the things that they have done is to have an application fee of $100,000, and this fee has to be paid by the company. This is very high, and we don't know at this point what impact this will have on the H1B program as a whole. Another thing they are trying to do is, you know, doing a lot more auditing of these companies. Some companies, there is a possibility that companies that lay off tech workers won't be able to hire people on H1B. So I think these are good ideas. There's another idea that was proposed, which is, instead of the lottery system, which determines who gets the H1B at this point, they want to have a slightly weighted system where the candidates who have higher salaries and better skills and more experience will get a better chance of getting the H1B visa. So these are questions that are in place. But at the same time, H1B is one system that is bringing in a lot of foreign workers. What a lot of people don't know is, universities and research institutions are exempt from the H1B quota, so they can hire anybody on H1B anytime, and bring in as many candidates as they want. Like, for example, recently, University of Pennsylvania hired somebody as a data analyst, I believe, on a H1B. I'm pretty sure this candidate is very highly qualified. I'm pretty sure it's very likely that this candidate went to school at UPenn. UPenn probably knows a lot about this person. This person is probably highly talented. But however, a university that gets almost $1 billion in federal grants for research and other purposes, is this the only option that they have? I mean, can they not, Philadelphia is a city of 1.6 million. There are so many universities. There are so many people highly qualified who are looking for jobs. Shouldn't they get an opportunity, a crack at this job before you hand it over to somebody who is here on H1B? So these are things that we need to look at, and look at who is actually benefiting from this program. If you look, so I believe the government has a hold on this, on all these candidates as well, because most of them who are here on H1B, they want a permanent solution, so they apply for green card, and that process takes forever. I mean, in the early 90s, you could get a green card in like 12 to 15 months, but now it could take 15 to 20 years, and there is no fixed set time frame. So both the companies and the government has a stronghold on these candidates, which is not a good situation for them. And on the other hand, the American citizens, American labor in general, continue to lose jobs due to these H1B and other visa programs. So I wanted to know what you think about this video, H1B in general. Please subscribe, like, and comment, and I will do my best to respond to all of the comments. Thank you once again, and bye until the next video.